Good afternoon, everyone. American European ports suffering record low container availability. Refrigerated containers where your fruit and veg comes from. Impossible bottleneck. Everything's over in China. Container rates soaring. Air travel 75% reduction in flights globally, but 10 tons of fruit and vegetable come on every single flight. Bye-bye. In Asia, maybe it'll arrive, maybe it won't. Who cares? Maybe you'll see it when you see it. What about all the fertilizers that are supposed to be hitting the United States right now for our growing season? U.S. exports set for 41-week high as futures plunge. Everybody buying in on corn. China's going to need an enormous amount of food they're not planting. Deep cold front northwest Africa and into the Middle East. Take a look at these clouds over Dubai. There needs to be an excuse for all the food losses. Guess what? It's right in front of you right now. Do you see it? And as much web browsing as I do, I need a way to protect my sources and sites that I visit. You can head over to virtualshield.com, and in the download tab, I'm going to choose Firefox. And click Install Now to add the Virtual Shield add-on. It's just that easy. And get started with your free 30-day trial. Install it, click Connect. You'll see the shield turn from red to green. And you'll see how from my initial service provider, I was able to even change my IP. Virtual Shield Network protected. And during the month of March, Virtual Shield is offering a special 30% off all VPN plans and all premium add-ons. The link's in the description box below. Now, we are going to have to adjust to more of a pioneering lifestyle, so think about those flowers where you can start to bake some of your own breads and cakes. If I can do it, you can do it. And also, think about the American trucking industry. 80% of all cargo is transported by trucks on the roads. And as we move forward, you can take a look at where most of the goods are. And in that number 4 position, the mixed freight is our food. So after it transits off of a ship into a port, it gets put on the trucks. But let's backtrack that a little bit. American and European ports suffering record low container availability. What has happened is there's this huge bottleneck of all these containers stranded over in China. They made the return journey, but they are never refilled and outbound. So China has more than enough containers. The rest of the world has hardly any. Difficult to get their hands on empty cargo containers to ship to international markets. California growers, South American growers, European growers, wherever you look. And the knock-on effect is the refrigerated container rates are soaring for any kind of frozen foods, perishables. Tens of thousands of refrigerated containers are stranded in China, unable to carry meat and seafood at the moment. It's a real conundrum. And as we look over into Asia, their whole philosophy is we're not going to guarantee it, and it's just going to arrive when it arrives. Good luck. This is an unprecedented global shipping situation. And then you might say, well, why don't you just send it on the airplane? I mean, hardly anybody's flying on the airplanes. You could probably pack the seats with food. Au contraire, mon frère. Air traffic slows, 75% of global flights reduced. So these cargo flights are now getting priority. That would be like FedEx and anybody, Cargo Lux, anybody moving freight by air. KLM taking the lead position on this. Air freight rates are also increasing because the amount of competition to get that fresh perishables on the plane on a limited basis as well. Limited amount of flights moving through our skies at the moment. So for those of you wondering how much is in an airplane that moves on your average flight, 10 tons of freight on large passenger. If you're going transatlantic, transpacific, there's 10 tons of freight inbound to another country from there. And if you're looking at some of the smaller domestic flights, 1 to 2 tons is running at any one time. So think of the tens of thousands of flights we had going every day and reduce that down to 750 or 1,000 flights a day. And then see the amount of cargo that's not moving by air, the amount of cargo not moving by ship. And then you start to get a good indication of where you're going to be in the supply chain floating down over the next couple weeks. Now over to AgriSensus, they're doing a good job here with the market commentary on wheat, corn, soy, and veg oils. Futures touching a 5-month low. Of course, this is all paper trading with these sell-offs going on. But corn, look at that. U.S. exports, 41-week high as the futures plunge. People diving in to try to get a better pricing on the physical substance for delivery because here's the wild card. China's not planting yet. I just got confirmation off of Financial Times that China has not put seeds in the field. They are going to be struggling for food this year. So I'm wondering who those mysterious buyers are gobbling up all the corn for physical delivery. And obviously the soybean trade, paper trade being smashed. So when the paper trade decouples from the physical, wow, we're going to see something run, and we're going to look at big push in price. Another wild card here for U.S. planting. This is off Progressive Farmer. Retail fertilizer price is increasing, but this is going lockstep with what's being delivered or not delivered from Asia. So the base constituents to reconstitute here for our own fertilizer this planting season. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise that it's incredibly wet again this year, and we're going to have a very, very, very difficult time planting anywhere remotely close to being on time. Maybe we can get the fertilizers in with this incredibly late planting like last year, going all the way into May and June. Gives us another couple months to try to get this fertilizer situation worked out. Because if it's not, our yields are going to be down significantly just because of lack of the fertilizers coming from Asia. Now jumping over to Europe and North Africa, take a look at that cold front sweeping through, looking at about 20 to 25 degrees Fahrenheit below normal temperatures. And you can see the same sweeping through Egypt where they just had that cyclone. There was even a couple tornadoes in Morocco. But over Dubai, check out these billow wave clouds as we wander through the moving jet streams into the Grand Solar Minimum. You knew it as well as I. The excuses for crop losses were going to be put out in front of you. Do you see it clearly now? Because the shortages would have to be explained anyway. Perfect excuse, front and center. And for those of you who are wanting to do some of your own growing during this time, it is springtime, of course. TrueLeafMarket.com, heirloom and organic seeds for any grow zone on our planet. Shipping has been delayed between 8 and 10 business days. Put your order in. They're going to pack it up, get it to you as long as our logistics system's still moving across the United States. If you're going to do microgreens or get your planting in so you can grow something through this tumultuous situation for the next 8 to 10 weeks, TrueLeafMarket.com. The link's in the description box below, and it's another way to support the Adapt 2030 channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.